In this portion of the iPrint Duplication Script demonstration, I'm going to show my client is in a non-recommended configuration. I'm going to show you how to automate it to put these workstations in the recommended transferable DNS name situation. Notice OES11A is the name that I'm pointing to, which is the name of the server. So right now my iPrint printers are tied to the server. And what I want to get it is to this scenario where my printers installed to workstations are pointing to a transferable name. And in my case, it's going to be PRNT-MGR. This is handled through the iPrint Print Manager configuration file. Notice right now the PSM host address is configured to bind to OES11A. I want it to point to PRNT-MGR. And just note that PRNT-MGR resolves to the IP address of my production Print Manager server. So when I restart this Print Manager, so you'll want to have DNS configured prior to restarting the Print Manager so that the Print Manager knows to resolve to that IP address. So that name that you decide will resolve to that server IP. And now, if you look at my workstation, he shows OES11A. Now the Windows print spooler will eventually, and there he just did it, he asked for status of the printer, and we get a pop-up telling us the administrator has renamed or modified printer IPP://OES11A, the old name, printer 02. Please wait while this printer is updated. The end user clicks OK, the printer is removed, and the printer has been updated and its name has been changed. And right now the Windows print spooler will be adding that printer. And while that's occurring, I want to show you how look at this var op novell iprint htdocs iprint.ini. This is a configuration file for the print manager. And notice inform user of updates is set to 1, which is the default. It means inform users of changes via a message box, which you just saw. A lot of administrators don't want their end users to have to click OK to a message. They'd rather it happen silently. And for those people, I recommend the option of 0. You save that change and nothing needs to be restarted for that change to take effect. So now we've seen the workstation got the message, it updates the client, and now I'm going to show you in the XML file var op novell iprint, and this is the name of the print manager, and there's an XML file. Notice this host name still says OES11A, the old name. This is a text representation of the Print Manager database file. It is exported out to this text file at different intervals. When a change is made to a printer agent, you add a printer, you delete a printer, and then that Print Manager database file is exported to this text file. I'll briefly explain this file because it's important. The iPrint PSM opening tag, and there's a closing tag at the very end of the file. We have an opening tag of manager and a closing tag of manager. In between we have all these attributes of the manager, the host name, which is right now outdated. If we force a backup of this file, it'll reflect the PRNT-MGR name that I chose. Shows the tree, shows the eDirectory context and name of the print manager. It shows which eDirectory server we're configured to authenticate during load. Shows the driver store that we're pointing to. And we have printers. Here's a printer opening tag. It's the name of a printer in the Print Manager database, the name of the printer in eDirectory database with its context, the gateway load string, which shows the IP address that the printer is pointing, that the network printer IP address that the printer agent is pointing to. We have different options: counting load string, auditing, security enabled, direct iPrint enabled, auto driver update, And then we have drivers. Notice we have a driver opening tag, a driver closing tag, and in between we show Windows 6.1, which is Windows 7, 32-bit, and the name of the driver that's associated. And we have a profile that's associated to this printer, and this is the driver that profile is using. So take time, look through this file. It's very interesting. I'll show you one other interesting. These are a bunch of printers that we're scrolling through. You'll notice at the very bottom of the file is this binary data. This is a profile. Profiles are stored in the Print Manager database. And we have the OS type, the architecture, the name that I chose for the profile, the driver being used, and here is the profile data. So when you install printers, the administrator can pre-select what options should be enabled for that end user. So we have this automated way of updating your clients to point to the transferable DNS name. I also want to show you, once you make that change, well, I want to show you how you can back up that XML file. You go to this PSM status page, look at that address up there. You go to iPrint Manager Internal, and there's a backup database button. Now if we go back into that XML file, notice the host name, it shows it's bound to PRNT MGR, so that's been updated. I also want to show you when you change the name the Print Manager is bound to, and you go to manage it through iManager. Notice I get this certificate message. I'm going to click this link. What it's saying is you have this host name of PRNT MGR, which I do not recognize. There's no eDirectory SSL DNS certificate or eDirectory object that matches it, because I made this up. So do you want to allow it? The answer is yes, I do. I click OK. And now when I go to manage my Print Manager, notice it shows the network address I'm bound to is PRNT MGR. My clients have been updated, and my Print Manager is now bound to the transferable DNS name. It all happened in an automated way. It did require the automated reinstall of iPrint printers.